Welcome back, everyone. So the question that we're trying to answer here is, how do you get what you think you truly deserve? Now, many a times when you are talking to a client, or perhaps you're asking for a raise in your salary, or for that matter, when you sell your services to someone and you're expecting someone to pay you for that, it's often difficult for people to ask for what they truly believe is something that they deserve, right? Now, the question is, how therefore do you go about it? Because many a times it is our own limiting belief that stops us from demanding what you truly deserve. So I'm going to share with you some tools here which will help you to address this particular problem. And maybe the next time around, when you are asking the other party to pay you, you will ask what you think you richly deserve. So here are the 5 simple tips that you could follow the next time around. Number 1, and this is fundamental, it's more about your belief. It's believe that you deserve it. The first step is to believe that you deserve it. For example, if you've been charging a client X fee till the last few years and you're demanding a 10% or a 15% or a 20% hike, a lot of times it's not the client who is unwilling to pay, it's the fact that you don't believe that you deserve that additional 15-20%. And that is what stops people from asking for a raise in the first place. The same holds true when you're also negotiating for a hike in your salary, or for that matter, any financial transaction. So the first and the fundamental step is to deal with your own demons, and is to tell yourself that, look, I am asking something and I thoroughly and richly believe that I deserve to be paid what I'm asking. If you do not believe, there is no possibility that the world is going to believe that you deserve it. Rarely will you come across a situation where someone else will pay you more than what you expect, or will pay you without you asking them to pay you. Okay, so you have to take the lead, and that is only and only going to happen if you thoroughly believe from the bottom of your heart that you deserve to be paid that extra amount of money. So that's fundamental. Number 2, focus on not just what you want, but how you ask for it. Now, a lot of times when people are asking for a raise, or they're asking for an additional sum of money, given the fact that you have been offering your services over a period of time, whatever extra you're demanding, it's not just about the amount of money that you're asking for, but also, are you confident enough while you're asking it? Now, this is in a sense correlated to the previous point, is that because you believe you deserve it, you are more confident. But if you don't believe that you deserve it, you will not be confident. So a lot of times people are hesitant. For instance, if you ask someone, the charges are more this year, so I hope that's okay with you. Well, if you ask like that, then possibly people will say, no, I'm not going to pay you that much, right? So whatever it is, whether it's a salary negotiation, or you're trying to sell your services or products to a client and you have to ask for that extra amount, you have to be confident. You cannot stutter. You cannot show any lack of confidence when you're asking for that additional amount. So how you ask for it is as important as how much you ask. So remember that the next time around when you're in a transaction, even when you say no, it has to be said empathetically. You can't say no in a dicey manner, in a 50-50 manner, because that doesn't go well with your confidence, and people will then not give you what you think you deserve. Number 3, and this I think is extremely important, a lot of people forget this when they're asking for something more, is to be prepared to give a little more than what you take. Now, what does that mean? So let's say, for example, if you're talking to a client and you have hiked your fees for 20% or 25% or 30%, ask yourself, what is it that I am giving in return, which is a little bit extra than what the client is expecting me to deliver? Now, this extra need not always be in monetary terms. So it could be spending more time solving a client's problem, or it could be taking the lead to understand their requirements better, and therefore you're investing more efforts into doing it. It could be anything. So ask yourself, what is that little bit extra that I'm offering to the client, because of which I have the right to demand what I'm demanding here? So a little bit extra goes a long way in enhancing your self-worth and your self-confidence when you're asking for a rise. Number 4, talk value, not just price. Now, a lot of negotiations where you're discussing about the amount that you expected to be paid, or the rise or the hike that you're expecting in your salary, or the fees, or the product cost, whatever it might be. People often talk about the price, which is okay, nothing wrong with that. But you also got to understand that there is value in return that you're offering to the other person. So try to understand what is the value of this product or the service that I'm offering to the client. Now, what is the distinction between the two? Price is more so a financial number. It's a numeric number, right? And therefore, it doesn't have any connect with emotions. It doesn't have any connect with the contentment that a person receives when he or she takes your product or your service. Whereas value has an emotional appeal. Value is something which people respect over a period of time. That's the value that you bring to the table. So in your conversation where you're asking for a hike, always focus on the value that you bring to the table. When you offer value and when people can see that value in a visible context, then they will not hesitate to pay you more. Unfortunately, a lot of conversations die because people do not talk of value. Their conversations get stuck only in the price corridor. So get out of the price corridor, talk value. What is it in return that I'm offering to the other party, because of which I deserve this XYZ price? So ask yourself, what's the value you bring to the table? And last but not the least, and I think this is very, 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 very important and often forgotten quite conveniently by a lot of people, is for you to demand more, you've got to be remembering what is called as the 10% rule. What is the 10% rule? Whichever profession, whichever job that you do, make sure you fall into the top 10% of performers. So for example, if you are offering a product, is your product amongst the best in the market? It may not be the best, the very best, but does it feature amongst the top 10% of what the industry is offering? Because when you are amongst the best, people know you as a brand. People understand the worth of what you're offering, and therefore they will be readily wanting to pay you more. So whether you're offering a service or you're offering a product or you're a freelancer, whatever the case might be, try to always be in the top 10% of performers in your sector, in your space. Now, that's one way of ensuring that you get consistently paid over a period of time. It's not just a one-time affair. You will perhaps revise your fees. You will ask for more over a period of time, once every couple of years, or maybe once every year, whatever the case might be. Even the best of actors, sportsperson, try to be in the top 10% of the area that they are in. The same holds true for us as well, right? So these are the 5 rules that you may want to remember and apply every time, not just one time, but every time you are in a negotiation where you're asking for more to be paid, what you do in that case. So here are the 5 rules. First and foremost, the fundamental belief that you deserve it. There should not be any doubts. If there is a glimmer of doubt, that's it. You have lost it. So no doubts here. Believe in your own self. Number 2, focus on not just what you want, but also focus on how you ask for it. You have to be confident in what you're asking. If there is any amount of doubt in the manner you're asking, then perhaps you will not get paid what you think you deserve. Number 3, always be prepared to give a little more than what you're expecting the other party to pay you. Ask yourself, what is that little extra I can offer? Number 4, talk value, not just the price. Remember, the price is a financial piece of data, but value has got an emotional appeal. So always try to bring in that value on the table so that you get paid what you richly deserve. And then finally, which is the most important thing, try to be in the top 10% performers of your industry or your space. This will ensure that you get consistently paid higher amounts and you truly get what you deserve. So apply these 5 rules, and I'm sure they will keep you in good stead in every negotiation, and you truly get paid what you richly deserve. Thank you so much for listening.